Life is a big school. We all have to learn.
In the dim and foreboding depths of the underworld, Hades sat upon his throne, his piercing gaze fixed upon the spirits of the departed. His austere visage was crowned by shadows, a testament to his immense power and influence, which reverberated throughout the ancient world. For the Greeks, Hades held a pivotal role in the afterlife, a dark and mysterious realm in which the fates of the dead were decided. As the god of the underworld, Hades was burdened with numerous responsibilities. He presided over the realm of the dead, ensuring that the souls of the deceased were judged fairly and dispatched to their rightful resting place. He was also associated with the earth and its bountiful resources, a god of wealth and prosperity. Perhaps it was his affiliation with these precious metals and minerals that lent him his aura of opulence and authority. The underworld itself was a place of shadows and phantoms, a macabre land teeming with ghosts and apparitions. The gateway to this eerie realm was said to be located at the farthest reaches of the earth and was jealously guarded by the river Styx. Legend held that the newly departed were obliged to cross the river in order to enter the underworld, ferried across its churning waters by the grim and melancholy ferryman, Charon. This shadowy figure was often depicted as a grizzled and somber old man, his beard long and his cloak hooded. Charon's role was indispensable, for only those who had been properly interred and paid the ferryman's fee were permitted to cross. Those who could not pay were doomed to roam the Styx's shores for 100 long years, a fate worse than death itself. As the newly deceased arrived at the gates of the underworld, they were greeted by the sight of Cerberus, the three-headed dog who stood guard. His eyes glinted with a menacing light as he snarled, baring his sharp teeth. The air around him seemed to ripple with an aura of danger, as if daring any to challenge his authority. Each of his heads was capable of looking in a different direction, giving him an almost omniscient ability to detect any intruders. Cerberus was a fearsome sight, his massive size allowing his tail to wrap around the earth 3 times over. He was the ultimate protector of the realm of the dead, never allowing a soul to escape without permission. Those who attempted to sneak past him would be met with his wrath, as he fiercely defended the borders of the underworld. The underworld was a place of many terrors, filled with the Furies, who were tasked with punishing those who had committed crimes, and the judges of the dead, who decided the fates of the souls who had passed on. Hades presided over the realm of the dead, a solitary figure who preferred to keep his distance from others. Though he was feared by many, he was also worshipped and sought after by those who wished for protection from death. The worship of Hades involved complex rituals and offerings, as supplicants sought to appease the lord of the underworld. As Hades sat on his throne in the dark underworld, the sound of a mesmerizing voice caught his attention. He followed the melodic tune through the winding caverns until he came across a stunning young woman. It was Persephone, the daughter of the goddess Demeter. The moment Hades laid eyes on her, he was enchanted by her ethereal beauty. He knew that he had to have her. Without hesitation, Hades emerged from the underworld and swiftly made his way to the earth's surface to kidnap Persephone. The goddess was picking flowers in a meadow when Hades appeared before her. He approached her with a menacing expression, and before she could react, he seized her in his powerful arms. Persephone screamed and struggled, but her efforts were in vain. Hades was too strong and determined to let her go. Hades swiftly returned to the underworld with his captive in tow, carrying her through the winding caverns to his throne room. As he arrived, he proclaimed Persephone his queen, making it clear that she would never return to the world above. The goddess was terrified and devastated, realizing that she was now trapped in the underworld with Hades as her captor. Demeter was beside herself with grief at the loss of her beloved daughter. The crops withered and died, and the earth became barren. She searched high and low for her daughter, but she was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Persephone was trapped in the underworld with Hades. As time passed, Hades eventually agreed to allow Persephone to return to the world of the living. However, he had other plans. He tricked her into eating 6 pomegranate seeds, knowing full well that this would bind her to him forever. Persephone was devastated when she realized what had happened. As a result of Hades' trickery, Persephone had to spend 6 months of the year in the underworld with him. During that time, Demeter mourned for her daughter, and the earth remained barren. When Persephone returned to the world of the living, Demeter was overjoyed, and the earth bloomed with new life. This story serves as a reminder that life is cyclical and that there are times of growth and times of rest. The changing of the seasons mirrors the changing of our own lives, and the underworld serves as a powerful symbol of the darkness that we must all face at some point in our journey. Hades and Persephone ruled over the underworld in a union of love that was the envy of the gods. Their partnership was a beacon of light in the darkness of the underworld, where the souls of the dead sought refuge. Hades, once a solitary figure, found solace in the arms of Persephone, and their love brought warmth to the realm of the dead. But their happiness was threatened by the grief of Demeter, who mourned the loss of her daughter. She refused to allow anything to grow while Persephone was in the underworld, and the earth suffered. Hades and Persephone were not deterred, and they worked together to find a solution. They decided that Persephone would spend half the year with Hades and the other half with Demeter. The seasons were born from this arrangement, and the earth mirrored Persephone's movements. When she was with Demeter, the earth flourished, and the air was alive with the sound of growth. But when she was with Hades, the world above grew dark and cold. Despite the challenges, their love endured, and they remained devoted to each other for all eternity. However, despite his fearsome reputation, Hades found love with the radiant Persephone, and together they ruled the underworld with compassion and grace. Their bond was unbreakable, and they found solace in each other even in the bleakest of circumstances. But Hades' love was tested when Zeus, consumed by envy, ordered that Persephone be taken away from him. One day, Hermes appeared before Hades, looking uneasy, and said,
"My lord, Zeus has commanded that Persephone be released from the underworld and return to her mother's side."
Hades' eyes narrowed at the news.
I will not let her go. Persephone is my queen and my love. I will not be parted from her.
But my lord, Zeus is the king of the gods. You cannot defy his command.
I am aware of Zeus' power, but my love for Persephone is stronger than any command he could ever give. I will not let her go.
Very well, my lord. I will return to Olympus and tell Zeus of your decision.
Tell him what you must, but Persephone will remain with me in the underworld. Our love is too great to be torn apart by the winds of the gods.
Hermes nodded and disappeared in a flash of light, leaving Hades to ponder the consequences of his defiance. But he knew that he could not let Persephone go. Their love was too great, and he would do whatever it took to protect it. Zeus was furious when he heard about Hades' refusal. He decided to punish Hades by making the underworld even darker and more foreboding than it already was.
You will regret this, brother. You have defied my command, and for that, there will be consequences. You may be the god of the underworld, but you are not above my wrath.
The river Styx grew wider and more treacherous, and Cerberus became even more fearsome. But despite Zeus's punishment, Hades and Persephone's love endured. They remained devoted to each other, and their love was a shining example of what true love could be. Even in the darkest of places, they found light and hope in each other.
My love, do not fear. Though Zeus may have punished me, our love endures. The gods cannot separate us. We will always be together. My queen, my love. Our love is too powerful to be torn apart by the winds of the gods.
Hades' story is a testament to the resilience of love, even in the most dire circumstances. His multifaceted character speaks to the complexities of human nature, capable of both darkness and light. His power and influence were felt far and wide, shaping the beliefs and practices of ancient Greeks. And his enduring love with Persephone serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of places, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow.